early 1983, Stanislav Petrov was a lieutenant colonel for the Soviet Strategic Rocket Forces, specializing in the development of a satellite nuclear warning system, engineered to stop a U.S. first strike. After graduating, he was sent to a new early warning facility, Serpukhov 15, near Moscow.
When we arrived, there were only several houses. Nobody knew anything. There was nothing. We had to start everything from scratch. We worked at our main institution, which had developed the warning system, Kometa. This is quite a complicated space system. The satellite would orbit. It would cover the missile threat region of the United States of America.
The new Russian warning system was composed of 9 satellites that had a view of the Earth's surface over America. Any launch from there should have been detected quickly by observing the rocket plumes over the horizon, or so went the Russian theory.
One entire wall was taken up by a reconnaissance display that depicted the map of the globe and the territory of the US. Their rocket ranges were marked there. There were exactly 1,000 rockets on 6 bases.
On the evening of the 29th of September, 1983, Colonel Petrov took over the command of Serpukhov 15 as the officer on duty.
It was normal routine work. Time was passing by. At around 10 p.m., we were finished with our tea and food. Time was approaching when the spacecraft came into orbit. All was going well. We were prepared just in case. And this just in case happened.
Colonel Petrov had received a signal confirming an American nuclear attack.
There was a big overhead display with huge letters, like a wall banner at my eye level. Start. The siren howled. The report started coming in about the launching of a ballistic rocket from the United States of America. The first reaction was shock. Something that we should have been ready for had actually happened. There was a status panel in front of me, and on the left, one rocket range in the US was lit up. Next to it, there was a number 1 launching rocket. The probability indicated was the highest possible.
The Soviet early warning computer had to go through 30 levels of security checks before it confirmed an actual missile launch. The team scrambled to check the authenticity of the signal. They had only 28 minutes until the impact.
I started giving commands, everyone in place, monitor all functions, do this and that, according to instructions. Everything pointed to a yes except for one thing. The launch was not confirmed visually. 30 levels of defense. To get through them was serious.
Because of the lack of visual confirmation, Petrov decided to wait before he informed the high military command of what was happening.
As I was the first source of this information, the danger was that as soon as I made a decision that this rocket is real, the rest of the chain of command could have been hypnotized by my conclusions. It is like the rule of roosters in a chicken coop. The first rooster starts to crow, and the rest follow it throughout the whole village.
Petrov was unable to find any faults in the system. The situation grew worse.
Another alarm came on. The system showed another rocket, then a third, fourth, fifth, all within 5 minutes. So there was a rocket attack sign on the overhead displays now.
Petrov needed to make a decision, one of history's most important.
When there is a massive launch, it is impossible to miss. Half of the population gets destroyed right away.
12 minutes had already passed. If Petrov had warned the high command at this stage, they would have had only minutes left to brief General Secretary Yuri Andropov to decide whether to launch a counterstrike.
I had to make a decision. I decided this was a false alarm. I decided, in the end, that it would be less damaging to qualify the rockets we detected as false alarms. After 10 or 11 minutes passed, the relief came. The over-the-horizon radio location radar stations did not find anything, and the decision I had made was confirmed. The start was false. The detection was false.
The false detection had been created by a rare alignment of sunlight that reflected via the Earth into the satellite's lenses. The incident embarrassed the military command of the Soviet Army. Petrov was made into a scapegoat. He was eventually forced into early retirement. In January 2006, Petrov was honored at a ceremony at the United Nations headquarters. In the Western press, he became known as the man who saved the world.